What Crossings does for people who are not preachers is that it allows them to hear a good sermon, even if one might not be preached.
All of my imperfections, being smart for generosity.
It's become such a way of life for me.
Crossings is not a sect of Christianity. Crossings is a tool that we use to understand Christianity.
A way of understanding life. It's a lens.
It really is good, and it is something new.
There is nothing for me so precious as productive disagreement. I know what it's like to have people that I agree with, and we see ourselves as fellow travelers and in the struggle for liberation. And I know what it means to have opposition, like people who just tell me and my friends and those who we love that we are wrong, that we are inappropriate, that we are in some way heretical, when really all we are doing is pushing up against these norms of what it means to be Lutheran, what it means to be Christian, what it means to be a citizen of the United States, what it means to be a Christian citizen of the United States. And so with them, there's no real discussion. It's just holding a line. Here, I've been able to have a wonderful mix of the two. Individuals with whom I share a fair amount of theological roots, a certain amount of theological understanding, but with whom at the same token we differ quite a bit. And as a consequence, what that's made for me is a chance to try out a forum, to try out my theological ideas around people that agree with me in large part, but not completely. And oftentimes those places where they disagree with me are, of course, just sources of genuine disagreement, and no, they're not going to change my mind. But there are definitely times where they get me thinking differently, or times where I do have to kind of change how I look at or think things. And for me, that has been the most marvelous thing about this conference, is really being able to have some good, productive disagreement with people. And that's a very precious thing. For me, what I consider to be productive disagreement, and this is genuinely rare, is that you can disagree significantly with what the other person says, but at the end of the day, you still understand that you are there and you're together and you love one another because you both lean upon the cross of Christ. And when we're able to do that, that's actually a pretty magical and rare thing, because it's not our intellect, it's not our ability to discuss or to come to logical conclusions. It is the Holy Spirit herself who comes in and helps to knit us together in ways which we would never be able to do ourselves. Luther was I'm gonna go on a limb and say he's really the first guy to seriously talk about contextual theology, right? He literally went up against an entire theological school with armies, with princes, with everything. Because for him, the context, where you come from, your physical location, the words you use, the food you eat, these are all expressions of how you understand God. If the Holy Spirit is calling you to make a testimony for what it is that you see and hear, and you do not think that there are people that recognize or see or give blessing to your ministry or to your understanding of the way the Spirit is calling you to function in your community, then don't wait. Just start doing the work. Talk about your witness. Talk about the way that God has shown themselves in your life. Talk about your pain. Talk about your joy. Talk about your passion. Get the word out there, because these are all rumblings of the Spirit. And to be involved in this broader discussion nationally, that's really all you have to do. Say something.